Live from the YK Studios in Adelaide, Australia, it's the Pop Culture Spread.
You think that this material universe is all there is? Are you ready to have your world turned upside down? Have a good trip. What is real? Who are you, Doctor Strange?
What the? This is just the beginning. Rated PG-13. Get tickets in Real D and IMAX 3D.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode in the series of our Marvel Retrospective look back at all the Marvel movies in the MCU. I am Jason, this is Rick.
Hey guys.
Well, we move now into Doctor Strange. Wow, who would have thought, I certainly didn't, that I'd be talking one day in the past, in a way, about a movie called Doctor Strange. I never thought they'd ever make this type of movie. And certainly because of that, because of my background in the old, reading some of those old Steve Ditko classic stories, I was really excited about the thought of Doctor Strange.
And how they're going to do it.
Absolutely. And so certainly as they were leading up to it, and I was getting excited. What were your thoughts leading up to seeing Doctor Strange?
Look, I was seeing the trailer to it. I was definitely getting excited for it. I was really curious to see how they're going to portray Doctor Strange, how they're going to bring, I guess, the elements that they have in those comics to the big screen, especially with this, how it is. Especially if you notice in the comics, it's got a lot of old style, bright colour, 70s retro,
very
types.
psychedelic.
Yeah. How are they going to entice that into the movie?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It was an interesting direction they went with. I mean, obviously they initially hired Benedict Cumberbatch, but he couldn't actually do the film.
Oh, okay.
And it almost had Jared Leto starring in the titular role. Whoa. He actually pulled out. They made him an offer and they pulled out because he didn't want to sign a multi-picture deal. So Benedict Cumberbatch was out of work out and come back, and thankfully so, because
thank God for that.
Marvel continues with its casting excellence by getting Benedict Cumberbatch playing Doctor Strange. Perfect fit, certainly with that. And then to hire the director, Scott Derrickson, who was a horror film director, made films like Sinister, and now was given an opportunity to do a big budget Marvel film. So from my perspective, you've got Benedict Cumberbatch, you've got this horror director taking on a Marvel film. What are they going to do with this? So I was certainly very excited. Trailers look fantastic. And of course, Rick, we were there to see it together.
We definitely were.
Rick, as we always do before we start digging deep into this film, we need to talk about the synopsis. All right, Dr. Stephen Strange's life changes after a car accident robs him of the use of his hands. When traditional medicine fails him, he is looking for healing and hope in a mysterious enclave. He quickly learns that the enclave is at the front of the line of a battle against unseen dark forces bent on destroying reality. Before long, Strange is forced to choose between his life of fortune and status, or leave it all behind to defend the world as the most powerful sorcerer in existence. Wow. Certainly a big build-up for the film. Now, obviously, we've got the plot. We need to know who was in this movie. Now, obviously, we already said Benedict Cumberbatch, Stephen Strange. We then have do you know how to pronounce this name? I know it's Ejiofor, the last name. Chiwetel Ejiofor plays Mordo. We have Rachel McAdams playing Christine Palmer. Benedict Wong plays Wong.
Wong.
Mad Mikkelsen plays the baddie, Calicius, I believe. I can't remember how they explain that as well. But the big casting for me is Tilda Swinton playing the Ancient One, as well as Benjamin Pratt playing Jonathan Panghorn. Now, there's your cast, there's your plot. What did you think, Rick, as this film was unfolding in front of you on the screen? Straight away, they get straight into it. What were you thinking when you first saw the opening scene?
It was just like I was thinking, okay, we're in here, let's get into it. And that opening scene was just wow, mind-blowing. It is a mind-bending thing, and they pulled it off so well. And the special effects in this movie, I have to say, are really top notch. It just really they grab that essence of that like you said, that psychedelic type colour and the way they present it in those comics back in the 70s.
I thought they did a great job of setting up the rules of the universe. Because that's what that opening scene did. It showed us, how does this world work? How come they're shifting reality and all that kind of thing? But
great.
It was really good setup, you know. And I thought the introduction of actual Dr. Stephen Strange was really good. Because, like, I'll be honest with you, he's a douchebag. He really is. He's an arrogant prick.
He is. He thinks his shit doesn't stink.
He really is. And I was a bit worried that this film was going to take him half an hour before he has the accident. But they didn't mess around.
That was good. That was a good point.
That was really good. You know,
you don't want to drag that on. No.
And so it means we actually get to Tibet, or where he goes. We get to there very quickly, where he gets to meet the Ancient One. So, which is absolutely phenomenal, and brings into Tilda Swinton controversial casting in this film, playing the Ancient One, who traditionally was in the comic books as an Asian master. They've decided to go with Tilda Swinton, which I thought was an inspired choice.
I think it's great.
Absolutely.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah, and she is fantastic. She brings gravitas to every word she says. It really sticks with you. And that great scene when they first kind of meet, and she actually introduces him to the different dimensions and realms.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that is...
And he's just...
I mean, I think it's like being on a drug trip watching that.
Oh.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So, no, absolutely good. But this movie isn't without faults for me at some points. I think the plot is a bit clunky.
Yep.
I was expecting to be, like, kind of have some parts that were scary. And nothing really... Because they hired a horror film director, I'm thinking, we're going to get some real dark things. They don't really go down that way, do they? No. But certainly with all the performances were great. It's just... So I felt that sometimes it was lacking a bit. Yeah. I thought the training for him to become Doctor Strange, it seemed to be just a little bit too long.
Yeah,
for me.
and I guess, and there wasn't a lot of like people that were training. Like she has this, I guess, I don't know, what do you call it, like a dojo or whatever it is. Like, and she literally probably had, I don't know, 10 people in there or something. It just wasn't, and then when they have those epic fight scenes, where the hell are they?
Yeah.
They were nowhere around. They were just the main characters.
Yeah.
So that was that's probably a little bit nitpicking maybe.
Yeah. I mean, the special effects are really
that's what you
the showcase of this film.
Yeah.
It really is, And it's a ballsy thing to do for Marvel, is to go, no, we're going to actually bring in the spiritual different dimension side of the Marvel universe, because like they've done they have done cosmic, they have done like small, the realm, but to actually go spiritual is actually a real big risk. And for the most part it pays off, absolutely. I mean, I honestly was more excited in introducing this character and knowing he's now in the MCU. I think we'll get much more entertainment from him as a character amongst the other characters, you know what I mean? Part of an ensemble, rather than having the standalone film. It's not a bad film, but at the same time, it's a film that, I haven't rushed back to see a lot. I don't know about you.
No, I haven't. Like you said, look, it's an enjoyable film. It's not a bad film.
No.
By all means, it's not a bad film.
No.
Like you said, it still had its moments here and there. Yeah. But, you know what? I've watched it a couple of times. I bought it when it first came out on Blu-ray, and literally I've probably only watched it probably 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. I mean, there are elements that are brilliant, like the whole time-shifting thing that he does, and how that scene at the end, let's give where credit's due. I've never seen an action scene or a final act spectacular moment in a film done in such a way where time is moving forward and backwards, and the characters are still in normal, they're not being affected by it, the heroes and some of the villains. And that was really spectacular to see. That was really fantastic. Not a huge fan of Dormammu, the concept of that. It was funny, but really it was a bit over the top. The guy was... Yeah, I know in the Marvel Universe there's characters that are bigger than planets, but that threw me off a bit. It looked a bit purple wavy skin, kind of
It
threw me
wasn't
off
really-
a little bit. Yeah. But overall, Rick, I think it's an enjoyable film. I think it probably sits in the middle range in the Marvel list of best of. For me, it's in the middling kind of part of it, in that sense. So, with saying that, I would say this film is a 7 out of 10 for me. I think that's a reasonable, fair score for the film because, like I said, spectacular in some moments, a little bit flat in others. Rick, what did you think of it?
Look, for me, like I said, it is an enjoyable movie. There were bits when I was watching it, it was like I said, it kind of dragged a little bit, and I was like feeling a bit, it wasn't as smooth as I thought it would be.
No.
Special effects were amazing, as you said,
Top
Jace.
notch.
You can't go wrong with the special effects in this movie, and it was really good to see how they portrayed Doctor Strange, and especially with his cape. How they did his cape, which was really, really cool, because that's a big thing and the eye as well that he has. Yeah. But overall, for me, look, I'd say 7.5. I'll give the half just for the special effects. Definitely. For me. They've done a good job at introducing him as a character. Like I said, I just think there's going to be more value with him as a character. Big part of the other Avenger films. So we'll get to see a little bit of Doctor Strange in Thor Ragnarok, I believe.
We will get to see Doctor. Well, they teased that in the after credits scenes in Doctor Strange, where him and Thor are actually together, and he fills up that beer and all that.
It'll be good to see how he portrays in that.
It will, Rick, and so certainly that's what we thought of Doctor Strange. We'd love to know what you thought of Doctor Strange. Do you agree with us? Do you think we're full of shit? Do you think that Doctor Strange is an epic film and should never be spoken about poorly, or should it just never be spoken about again? Let us know. How do they do that, Rick?
Guys, all you need to do is just give us a comment down below. Give us a subscribe. Also give us a like for the video. And also just follow us all on our social sites. They're all up to date with the latest and greatest information. It's as easy and simple as that, guys.
Yeah, get chatty.
That's
and
it.
Obviously, Rick, now we move on to our actual last entry into our retrospective series, because the retrospective series by design is talking about films that have already happened. And now that means next week we're moving on to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which was released in May of 2017.
Yep.
So that's what we're heading up to next time, the last entry in our Marvel retrospective series. Be sure to tune in, and we'll see you next time, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.